Hello! In this video, we'll show you how to set up individual payroll calculation for specialists in Altegio. You'll learn where personal payroll rules are configured, how to define payouts for services, assisting, shifts, sales, and other types of work, as well as how to account for discounts, promotions, and cost price. Before you begin, make sure you have already configured the general payroll calculation settings in Payroll, General Settings. You can find instructions on how to do this in our separate video. Once the general payroll parameters are configured, you can proceed to individual payroll settings for your team members. To do this, go to the Team section, select a team member, and open the Payroll tab. Let's start with the Service-Based Compensation section. Here you configure how a team member is compensated for services they performed, independently or participated in as an assistant. To enable compensation for service delivery, turn on the option Pay based on services personally provided. Once enabled, three calculation options become available. Payout without an assistant, when the team member performs the service independently. Payout with an assistant, when the team member is the main specialist and one or more assistants participate. Payout as an assistant, when the team member participates in the service only as an assistant. For each option, you can choose the calculation method, a percentage of the service price or a fixed amount. If specific services or categories require a different percentage, enable set values per service or category. This allows you to define separate calculation rules for a specific service or category. For all other services, the default value will apply. Next, let's review adjustments for loyalty programs and discounts. This section allows you to define which amounts are considered when calculating payroll if the client uses discounts, bonuses, memberships, gift cards, or participates in promotions. If the adjustment is enabled, payroll will be calculated based on the full service price without reducing it by discounts or bonus payments. If the adjustment is disabled, the discount amount and any portion paid with bonuses, gift cards, memberships, or promotions will be deducted from the payroll calculation base. You can also define separate compensation for services provided under promotions. If needed, individual values can be set for each promotion. The Consumables deduction section defines how the cost of materials, such as hair color, care products, and other consumables, is considered when calculating an employee's payroll. The first option is to deduct 100% of consumable costs from the team member's salary. In this case, the full cost of consumables used during the visit is deducted from the calculated payout. You can also choose whether the client's discount should be applied to consumables. The second option is to deduct consumables from the team member's salary proportionally to the commission percentage. With this approach, the system multiplies the total consumables cost by the employee's commission percentage and deducts only that amount from their salary. The third option is not to deduct consumables from team members. In this case, consumable costs do not affect the employee's payroll. If your team runs group events such as workouts or master classes, you can configure separate compensation rules for these services. Set a minimum payout that the employee will receive even if no clients attend, as well as a payout for cases where at least one participant is present. Additionally, you can choose a payout rule. Do not pay for client participation, pay for each attending client, or pay only if the number of participants exceeds a specified minimum. Enable pay for sold products if the employee receives a commission from retail product sales. As with services, you can set a percentage of the product price or a fixed amount, define separate values for categories or specific products, and configure loyalty adjustments. Adjust prime cost if the employee's payout should be calculated based on the product price minus the cost price. You can also choose the calculation order, apply the discount first, and then subtract the cost price or vice versa. For employees whose work is paid per shift, such as administrators, use the shift-based compensation section. Here, you can enable payment for coming to work, set a base rate per hour, day, or month, and define a guaranteed minimum, an amount the employee will receive in any case, even during periods of low workload. If a team member works with client appointments, creating, modifying, or confirming visits, Use the Appointment Management Compensation section. Enable compensation for managing appointments and set payouts for appointment creation, services within an appointment, and closed online appointments. You can also configure additional rewards for provided services and product sales based on the company's total daily revenue or profit. Choose whether the calculation is based on revenue or profit and set the payout percentage. Once all parameters are configured, click Save to apply the changes. Done! Individual payroll calculation is now set up. In the next video, we'll show you how to calculate payroll in the system and review employee payouts. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out via support chat bubble, WhatsApp, or Telegram. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos. See you next time.